What's up guys, kxsamurai here, and I'm here to bring you guys my Dinosaur Zoodiac I played with over the weekend. This weekend I played a 50 card version. I really feel that a Dinosaur variant has a lot of synergy, and it actually did get me third place this weekend, so I really did like playing this, and it was a fun fun deck to play all weekend. So I'll start ahead and get into the profile here. So I played 8 poppable targets in my deck, double Petite Pteranodon and triple Babysaurus. I didn't really play 3 Petites just because my Dino engine doesn't really rely too much on the higher level dinos. It's mainly used just to get like a rank 4 toolbox for Logia and Dolka, and that's mainly what I focused on. I also ran 3 more cards. They're not dinos, but they have a lot of synergy with the deck. So I played triple Bababoon. This card is really good. What it does is when it's popped, you can special summon 2 other Bababoons from your deck, and also it has a secondary effect, or mainly its main effect. When it's normal summoned, you can cycle out a card from your hand to the top or bottom of your deck. Now that effect is really good, and it helped me get out of a lot of tough situations, which is why I liked it. And more often than not, if I popped this guy and like say Babysaurus off of a True King, like a Lithosagum, that's an instant MX Saber Invoker and a Oviraptor, which is completely broken. Now to get into the rest of the Dino deck, or the Dino part, run triple Oviraptor. This card was super great over the weekend, really too good. He's a Foolish Burial or a Rhoda for the deck, and he's the main reason this deck is, I would probably say, viable again, or it's why it's revived. He's really way too good, really good to get for rank 4 toolbox. He's targetable off of any of the babies, so I only ran 3, it's pretty staple. Going into the next rank 4s, I ran triple Miscellaneousaurus. I felt this was really staple for the deck, especially since I'm doing a rank 4 version, just to help me get out my rank 4s. This card was super good all weekend. I had so many plays. This deck can come up with so many things and so many long plays. It's really great. A lot of the things that I would like to do with this is when I used to have my my Zoodiac combos going off, if I had this in a grave with another Dino card, I can banish, get another baby from deck, and pop it with Dryden. And from there, I can go off with my dinos. I can get an Oviraptor Search and just do some more shenanigans that way. Rounding off the dinos, I only played 1 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I never really saw this guy too much all weekend, and I didn't really want to see him. He kind of was a last-minute throw-in. This deck can run really well without Ultimate Conductor. He pretty much was my 51st card. But I did just run just 1 of him, and I never really saw him all weekend. I can't really say he helped me because he didn't really do too much for me all weekend, but I probably will still be maining 1 when I go down to 40 cards because that's the next version I'm going to be doing. So that's it for like the Dino engine. Now, True Kings, I got triple Lithosagum and double Vanisher. Sagum, this guy right here, was so great all weekend long. I was able to tear apart my opponent's extra decks. It really gave me so much advantage. This deck really benefits from going off first. It can even go off second. I have so many ways of benefiting and plussing in this deck. I just love it. Sagum, if I get him in like a Bababoon, like I said, that's instant Oviraptor with a Search. So that's like a plus. It's like a +1 off of Oviraptor. Then I can go to MX Saber Invoker and start doing my Lunalite combo plays. Vanisher, I never really saw too much. He's gonna see a lot more play for me once I get Diagram, and hopefully if I can get my hands on some Ghost Dash, but I probably will not. I'm going to be changing the ratios of these just because Vanisher did sit in my hand dead more than often. A lot of it maybe was because I didn't run as many fires, but I still was able to get him off a couple times. So that's it for the True King part. Now going into the Zoo engine, I played 1 Thoroughblade, triple Whiptail, and double Rat. Now, I do like this version. I threw in the Thoroughblade kind of last second. He didn't do too much for me. I was really hoping to have him help me cycle out my extra barrages if I drew into them, which I really didn't draw into. This engine is just a standard Zoo engine for me anyways, just able to cycle through my deck, do the Lunalite combo, and get some more pluses. Another reason why I played this deck, Dinos with Zoo, is because if I'm able to get my Lunalite combo off and somehow end up with like a Logia, Dryden, and Lunalite, I pretty much win almost every game, almost all my games. My locals had 27 people this weekend, and I did win most of them. The only matchup I did lose against was Taraxon. I beat 60 card Infernoid, a 50 card Paleo, and a kind of rogue Red Eyes deck. Now, that's just kind of going over my matchups. Now going into the spells, I ran triple Lost World and triple Terraforming. Now this was mainly the biggest dead draw of the deck, and I do regret putting these in. A lot of times, more than often, I would run into these guys when I did not want to see them. Mainly because this is it's a hybrid deck. So I think with my next version of this deck, I will probably be dropping the Lost Worlds. Don't get me wrong, Lost World's amazing in pure dinos, but for the hybrids, it's not exactly the hottest thing, and it's not a card you want to draw onto either one of those too often. So that's it for the Dino Field spell. I ran triple Barrage. Shout out to Gilbert for letting me use his third Barrage. Barrage was such a play starter for me all weekend. If I drew into Barrage and let's say, a Bababoon or a Baby Dinosaur, I was able to go off so hard on my opponent. It's so good. Not to mention that, when you pop a baby, you get to like get an Oviraptor and a rat. So you're plussing off of your rat. Then you have the Lunalight combo with your rat, which is ridiculous. And not to mention, most people do. They usually pop the Barrage itself. So when I'm popping another card, I have this ready for next turn. So it kind of sits there like a diagram for me. It's kind of like my replacement to diagram, because I do get a pop and a plus, just like diagram would do, but it also suits the deck a lot better than you would think. So triple Fossil Dig. I did really exhaust my engine a lot, so sometimes these did come up dead. It's another issue I will be addressing with my deck. But it was always good to get my Oviraptor or a Miscellaneous to start out my plays. Double Instant Fusion and double Fusion Substitute. This is where I'm changing up my deck. I'm actually dropping these both down to 1, just because you have to remember I only play 1 Norden, so having 4 cards that specifically need Norden and the extra deck is kind of backwards. It's either that or add like a Rajin, Invoked Rajin. But I feel like I am going to drop down to 1 Norden just so I can get a standard Lunalight combo off and still have use for it with 1 instant fusion. I did draw the fusion substitutes a couple times, so I'm going down to 1. Let's go with Twin Twisters and Raigeki. So these were just my my kind of drawn twos to kind of get me out of situations. I guess I did miss 2 cards from my monsters, which was my Lunalight and my Maxi. I had these out of place. Lunalight and Maxi. Lunalight to search out the Fusion Substitute, and Maxi. It was really great for me. I drew into it once over the weekend, and I won that game just because I think I was able to do it off of a pivotal part in the game. So going on to the last part of the main deck, which is the traps, I did run triple Solemn Strike and double Lost Wind. I like the idea of Lost Wind because it's recyclable, and it really helps hit a lot of cards. Solemn Strike was great for me all weekend. It's just too good of a card. So I did run just 5, and I did really get into them. Like I said, I'm running a 50 card deck, but with this deck, I can burn through it so quickly, and I can get down to these cards. It's not really a matter of I need less cards to get to them. This was a good ratio for the 50 card version. Other than that, so that's the main deck. Let me go ahead and get into the extra deck here. So I did run just 3 Ring 4 dinos, or for the dinos. Double Logia, 1 Dolka. A lot of my standard plays would end up with me ending up with a Logia and a Trident, which was really too much to handle for a lot of my opponents. Whenever I did open up with a Logia or a Trident, I would pretty much have the game in hand. I didn't ever really want to run Dolka too much, because a lot of times I would run into a situation where my opponent can just play too many spells to get around me. That was an issue I did run into a lot. I didn't really go into Dolka as much as I wanted. It still has the potential to be probably the best. It pretty much is, my opinion, the best Evolzer monster, but double Logia was my main setup just because I wanted Logia for the protection from my field. So that's it for the dino ones there. I did run, let's see, double Broadbull, double Tiger, double Drancia, and 1 Borbo for my Zoodiac engine. I really could have just, if I really wanted to, for this version, what I really should have done, I should say, is I should have dropped Tiger Mortar for a second Emerald, which I didn't. That was pretty much one of my mistakes for the extra deck. But this engine, I did exhaust almost every game, just through the Lunalight combos, and it was worth it. I get to burn through these and get a lot more advantage, and my opponent has to get through a Drancia and a Logia, so that really set up a lot of my victories. Let's see, these two can also be included in the engine, Emerald and MX Saber Invoker. Emerald, like I said, if I wanted to run the double instant fusion substitute, I really should have ran another Emerald in there. over the Tiger Mortar, but one was good for me all weekend. It helped me get through a lot of my plays. Invoker was also really huge off of Bababoon. It's the only way of getting it out is through Bababoon, but I did see him, I'd probably say 4 to 5 times, just because I can cycle through my deck and speed through it to the Bababoons and pop them with a variety of cards like Drancia, Barrage, the True Kings, and even my Ultimate Conductor, which I never really saw, but other than that, I got 2 more cards, or 2 other Ring 4s, Castell and Samurai. Samurai is another card I think I'm going to get rid of. If I can somehow get my hand onto that XYZ Tornado Dragon, I will grab that over Samurai. Castell was also, in my opinion, it's like one of the best generic Ring 4s in the game. Can get over so many things. And then just one Lonely Norden. This card was responsible for so many pluses. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I did really good over the weekend. And I ran, like I said, around 51 cards. I did run into another 50 card, a 50 card, what is it? A 50 card Paleo deck and a 60 card Infernoid. So basically my choice to run the 50 cards was kind of justified. But it being a locals, I no longer will be going back to 50. Just because I feel like it did hurt the consistency a little bit, and I drew into a lot of cards I didn't want. Like there's a lot of cards that are replaceable, like the Lost World and Terraformings. Anyways, guys, that's the deck profile. I will be having my YCS Denver deck coming up here soon. I did make it to day 2. I didn't really finish the tournament as I wanted, but I'll have that deck up here probably tonight or tomorrow. It was actually a Shinobird deck that made it to day 2 at YCS Denver, so I'm really proud on it. Anyways, guys, please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe if you guys like the video. Leave any comments about the deck if you have anything or suggestions. And hopefully I'll see you guys later. Thank you.